Hello, my name is Stacy Brayoka, and I am known as the Technology Therapist and Squirrel Wrangler. And today is Find Your Formula Friday. So last week on Find Your Formula Friday, I'm just going to jump right in because this is going to be probably a short show. Last week on Find Your Formula Friday, I introduced everyone to the formula. And so if you want to listen about the formula itself, overall about the formula, just check out my show from last Friday. And today, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the 4 silent S's. What they are, why they're important, and just, kind of go into those in a little bit more depth. So the formula overall, just a short enough recap, is a formula for you to live a more balanced work life, or have a more balanced life in as far as work life balance goes, so that we can live a healthier life and do more of the things we love, right? So the 4 S's in the formula, I call them the 4 silent S's because they are things we don't talk about. They're things that societally we don't talk about enough. We haven't talked about. They're kind of hush hush or taboo subjects in some circles, and they are thus. The first one is lack of sleep. The second one is lack of self-care. The third one is increased stress overall, and the fourth one is increased societal stigma. And over the next couple weeks, I'm going to be going into each of those in more depth. But here's the deal, folks. As a public health educator, I know that those are the things underneath all of our health problems because, frankly, it's in the literature. We know through research that lack of sleep, increases our potential for having chronic health issues. We know that ongoing or lack of self-care, time to ourselves, basically relaxation overall, is something that increases our risk on chronic health problems also. Stress, it should go without saying that is underneath many of our health issues. However, at least in the United States, it's kind of a taboo subject, at least up until the last couple of years. We don't talk about stress. We don't talk about, because all we do is go, 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 do. And we don't talk about the fact that just the feeling that we have to do that in and of itself is a stressor. Then you talk about stressors of financial stressors, legal stressors, political stressors, religious stressors. The place you live may have environmental stressors that are either related to social activities in the area or social unrest, if you will, or it could be related to environmental issues. It could be related even to the composition of the mug you drank your coffee from. It could be what's in the water that was made in the coffee, or made the coffee. What kind of packaging was the coffee? And I mean, we can go deep into each of these things, and stress includes things like environmental stressors. The fourth silent S is really a biggie. And when we get to that week, I'll dive deeper, but suffice it to say that societal stigmas is a huge cavernous topic by itself, because societal stigmas include things like peer pressure to do X, Y, or Z, all the way up through things like microaggressions and any word that we attach the ending ISM to, isms. And and more. I mean, societal stigmas also include things like trauma and war and having lived through toxic environments. The reason it's a stigma is that we do not talk about it. So, or that if we do talk about it, it's hush hush, or we kind of point behind our back at people. And, you know, it can include things like societal stigmas for being different, being mentally, having a mental illness, being physically different, physically abled, differently physically abled, anything that makes us stand out, and truly more that makes other people, it's really the other people looking at us and saying X, Y, or Z about us. It's that kind of stigma. Even if the people who are other people who are looking at us don't say anything to us about us, or do anything towards us when they're thinking about it. So societal stigma is a great big one. There's research underneath all of these, and there's research showing that, I mean, if you think about it, when somebody goes to the ER because they've had a heart attack, one of the things the doctor says to them, I mean, yeah, they could say don't eat the crap that you're eating. They could say don't smoke. They could say, make sure and take your medicine for your blood pressure. But frankly, one of the things they say to probably every single person that has that issue, and that issue, I'm just picking on heart attacks because, whatever, it's a common thing we all understand. They are going to tell them to decrease their stress. Now, it's all well and good to tell somebody, oh, decrease your stress. But frankly, does our society support it? Does our society really support a decrease in stress management, or a decrease in what stressors we have? And my answer is going to be, I don't think so. I really don't think we support, as a society, the decrease of stress. And so that's why I still say it's one of the 4 silent S's. Sleep. There for years and years, and I don't even know how deep and wide this goes, but people pride themselves on, oh, well, I only need 3 hours of sleep at night, or I only need 2, or I only, I did this and I didn't sleep. Does some of it come from pulling all-nighters as college students to get our homework done, or having so many responsibilities as adults that we got to stay up all night to get whatever tasks done, and then we've got to go to work the next day, and we've got to, we've got families, and we got kids, and got responsibilities, and taking care of houses and this and that. But if you don't get good sleep, you're not gonna be able to function that way for a really long time. I mean, yeah, a 20-year-old or 21-year-old, let's go there since that's kind of drinking age, generally. A 21-year-old, they can survive on the couple hours of sleep at night for days and weeks, even on end, and probably get away with it. But their bodies are a little bit more resilient than those of us who are older. I mean, let's face that. And over time, chronically, sleep is certainly an issue. And it's not just getting enough sleep, it's getting quality of sleep. It's getting sleep in the right environment. And we don't talk about it. Again, it's silent. So, again, I said today's talk or show was going to be kind of short because I was just going to go over what the 4 S's are. Oh, another point on sleep before I wrap that up is, I was talking to a good friend, or a friend the other day on a Zoom call, because of course that's where we are, right? And she made the perfect point about sleep. Everything needs rebooted once in a while. You reboot your computer when there's issues, and rebooting it lets it realign itself. you reboot, when you turn devices off and let them even your even before we were doing, um, had major devices, even something like a hot stove, you might want to have it cool down. So you're going to turn it off and let it cool off, because you may not want it running all the time. Your car, you're going to go in and get an oil change. You're going to get maintenance on it. You're going to, can you drive a car 24/7, 365 for years on end before it needs something? I don't think so. And so everything needs a reboot at times, and our sleep is not at all an exception to that. So when you go to sleep tonight, remind yourself that you're rebooting yourself, your body, your brain, your subconscious. We never really turn things off, because frankly, our subconscious is constantly going, even when we're asleep. But frankly, the sleep is what's good for the subconscious, because that's when all of the little things that we perceive and know and live through during the day, that's when our brain puts that all in the right place. And if you don't get enough sleep, the right sleep, or um, you're too stressed, the things might not get put away in the right places. And that's when things start going downhill. So next week, we'll probably start and talk on Find Your Formula Friday more deeply and specifically about sleep. But my name is Stacy Braiuka. I am known as the technology therapist and squirrel wrangler. And part of that is I have been a geek girl for over 40 years. My first computer was a Commodore 64 in the late 70s. I also am a clinical social worker by profession and career, with 25 plus years doing therapy, and a public health educator of 15 plus years, having been in the public health arena doing qualitative research primarily. But um, between those three things, I have had a unique perspective on the last 3 years that we've dealt with, understanding the mental health and technological impacts of a public health emergency, aka COVID, the lovely pandemic we've been through. And I want to bring some of those insights to you in that space. I also have developed a coaching program called Find Your Formula. If you'd like to know more about any of those things, just look for my app in the App Store. It's called Technology Therapist. It's easier to find that way than trying to spell my name. So look up Technology Therapist in the App Store and give me a download and a share, and I'd love to get feedback. You can contact me through the app, and you can even schedule a consult with me about uh, technology therapy. You can do that through the app too. So I hope you are having a great Friday. I hope you think about the 4 S's and think about what impact that has on you, of decreased sleep, decreased self-care, increased stress, and increased societal stigma. And use it to get a conversation going. The more we talk about it, the less silent they'll be, and hopefully the less negative impact they will have on our health. I will see you Monday for Mindset Monday. And I don't know what we're going to talk about yet, but it will be fun no matter what. And I look forward to seeing you there. I appreciate the 20 some people who have been here listening to me for this show. And I recognize a couple names. Kamikaism, I've seen you before. See if there's anybody else I recognize the names of. Greg Sloan, I believe you've been here before too. I really appreciate you guys listening. Give me a follow, a like, and a share. And have a great weekend.